Welcome to everybody who's checking this out for CopySkills. My name is Irshad Azeez. I'm co-founder of Dropkick Copy. What we wanted to show you guys is how we use Jasper to finish off projects that require like a large amount of content written. So like SEO blog posts and stuff. Jasper is really cool. There's so many others, I believe, but we've been experimenting with Jasper for a while. And Jasper's improved since we first got involved with experimenting with it. There's a free version and there's a paid plan. The paid plan, I saw the lowest cost would be like $50 a month. So you can check it out. It's jasper.ai. And then once you get access to Jasper, it basically looks like this. So there's a dashboard with a tutorial that'll teach you how to get familiar with everything. And I haven't experimented with all of it, but there's, for example, you can just straight up start working on a document and just sort of generating like AI-based content for it. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to this template section and try some of the templates. These weren't there before. These are new. So like you can even put in a prompt and get email subject headlines. I've been experimenting with that myself. But for today, we're going to be trying out this one-shot blog post and the paragraph generator. One-shot blog post is basically you put in a prompt and it generates a whole blog post for you in a very basic format. Paragraph generator is just a paragraph based off of a prompt. So, for example, this is paragraph generator. It asks you, what is your paragraph about? I put Bitcoin trading is important. Here's what you need to know. And I've put keywords, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That's what needs to pop out in the text, right? And the cool thing is it also asks you, what's your tone of voice? Try using different combinations of words like witty, friendly, disappointed, polite, creative, professional, etc., etc. Or even well-known personality types such as Oprah Winfrey. And it basically attempts to bring a certain amount of tonality into your writing, which is cool. Once you put in those things and you set the language, you can set how many outputs you want. I've put 4 here. And I just click generate. And then it pops out some text for you like so. And if you read it, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent, right? It's got the tone and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I use this to work on a project that we had recently. And I'm going to kind of run through it step by step. And I'm going to even possibly time it so you know how fast it takes to do these things. Jasper incorporated into your existing workflow is a nice thing. Get something out of it. And I'm going to show you what that is. So let's get started on that. So we have a client. We have a client who is in the field of hormone replacement therapy and they need some blog posts written about their different service offerings. So we want to, for example, we want to write something about testosterone replacement therapy. So for me to come up with the blog post, I'm going to have to sort of figure out what do people want to know about, right? So what I'll do, I write testosterone replacement therapy in Google. I get the search results. Then I want to make a note of what people also ask. So all these are potential headlines that I'm going to need information about, right? So I make a note of that. I go all the way to the bottom. I see the related searches. These are also potential headlines that I'm going to need content for. So I make a note of all this, right? And then what I do is I start looking at the actual pages that are showing up. I want to avoid like the big major pages and look at more blog posty things. So what I do is I usually start from the bottom. So here we see like in this blog post, they're answering the question, what are the benefits of TRT? That's a good headline. How do I get TRT? That's a good headline. What are the types of TRT? That's a good headline. Is it safe to get TRT? That's a good headline. So I'm going to make a note of all that. So I gather all of these little headlines and put it into sort of a document and organize it, right? And that's going to give me basically the outline of my SEO page. Very simple. I'm going to show you how that's done, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off and come back on when I've completed it. And I'm going to time how long it takes so you know what this could feel like working with Jasper and so going through the workflow of coming up with the SEO based blog post. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so all done. It took me 12 minutes to create the outline from scratch. So I've got all the headlines here. I color coded them just so it's clear. These are the headlines from the blog post. You saw how I did the related searches and people also ask. You saw that already, right? So now, because there's a lot of overlap, repeated kind of headline searches here, what we want to do is trim the fat and organize it. And that's what it looks like. It looks like this. Obviously, we want to apply our copywriting mind in the way we create the outline. So I start off with the idea of what is low testosterone, because there's a pain point there. Are you feeling low testosterone? What are the symptoms, right? So we want to start them there and then point out that there is a therapy, what is the benefits, what are the types of treatment, the pros and cons, the side effects, who shouldn't take the therapy, and then I end on a note of, is there a natural remedy alternative? I keep that right at the end because I don't want to put that all the way at the top, because our client wants people to hire them to help them with the therapy, the actual replacement therapy. The client doesn't need them just jumping to natural remedies, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean by using your copywriting mind to structure the outline. Anyway, it's done. It took 12 minutes. Now, the next step, and I'm going to time this step as well. So the next step is basically we want to take these drag and drop style, and we want to go to Jasper. So let me quickly, I'm going to shorten this to 3 for the sake of speed. So I start off with what is low testosterone, the very first headline. I pop that in there. Then I give Jasper like some tones. Since this is a medical client, I'm going for tones like healing, helpful, comforting, authoritative. Yeah. And the person reading it is a male, 30 to 40 years old sort of thing. Well, it's really actually 40 and above. And then I click generate. And now it might take a minute. So the workflow then becomes about taking the output that Jasper gave us and just copy pasting it into this document one by one for each one of these headlines. And then we're going to do some sort of high level editing and trim the fat again and come up with the blog post. Most of what, yes, this is what's generated. It's generated 3 outputs. Most of what's here we won't need, right? So what we're looking for is a nice healthy chunk of text that answers this question, what is low testosterone? This seems to be it. Usually the first one is the best one. So let's just run with this. You can copy it straight from there and drop it in here. Boom, right? And like that, I'm going to repeat this step for every single one of these headlines. And how I'm going to trim the fat is basically I'm going to read what's here and then just kind of cut chunks out. You don't need a lot of this because basically I just want to know what is low testosterone in this part. So maybe we start straight low testosterone, or I could just keep this part. There are a number of things that cause low testosterone levels. The most common, I could just keep this part. You know what I mean? So it's, again, use your copywriting mind and figure out what's best, and you sort of copy chief yourself and work your way down the list of headlines. So I'm going to time this part too, and I'm going to get back to you and we'll carry on from there. This is kind of the main step that takes a bit of time. I am done by popping these prompts one by one into Jasper and taking the content back into this document. You end up with a wall of text that's about 19 pages long. This is what I ended up with. And you can see it needs a lot of trimming down to make it concise and sensible to read. So it's 19 pages. This is what I ended up with after the full editing. I ended up with 7 pages. 7 pages of AI generated content is nothing to sneeze at, man. You know what I mean? So let me just quickly go over it. So you can see the flow. It's nice. What is low testosterone? What is the symptoms? Types of treatments. What is TRT? It's a type of treatment. What's the benefits? So on and so forth, all the way right to the end with the alternatives to testosterone replacement therapy. And that's 7 pages. And this took me 39 minutes. So 39 plus 12 is about 51 minutes. So in less than an hour, I went from a blank page to a 7-page SEO blog post. Now, we're not claiming that this is perfect, but what is perfect, right? The thing is to sort of churn out material fast and then refine it. Yeah, because editing is the sort of next layer to any kind of writing, right? So in completing this project, I did these quick, I turned these out, I handed them in, then we put it in front of the client. The client found some things that they wanted to change. They found some bits of information that they thought were outdated or were incorrect, because the client is the medical professional. So what we did then is we arranged a Zoom call with them, and then they went over each blog post and added things and fixed things and tightened it up and made it better. So there is more time you're going to spend on it, just making it better, but you get like the bulk work, the hard part done, I think in like 15 minutes. I mean, think about it, going from a blank page, and when you're facing a blank page, think of the procrastination, the overwhelm, the kind of confusion of where do I even begin type of thing. All that's kind of cut out when you just set up a nice little workflow and throw in some Jasper. We get this thing moving, and I've used Jasper for other things. So I was using the template called the one-shot blog post because it gives me a nice chunk of stuff to work with. I also tried one blog post using only the paragraph generator, and it's cool, but it doesn't give me much room to trim and cut and adjust, which you need. So I wouldn't use the paragraph generator for this. I'd use the one-shot blog post, but it's possible to do it with the paragraph generator too, and it's a little bit quicker, but I wouldn't recommend it. So guys, I hope this was super helpful, and I'm happy to share this kind of little tidbit of this pro tip with you guys, and I hope it benefits you somehow. Thank you very much. Take it easy.